Hello everyone. I'm gonna go over to you guys simplifying algebraic expressions with exponents. Okay, see as for this and requested for this. So I'm gonna go over 5 examples so it will guide you in your homework. Okay. So number 1, I have here 2r and then there is a parenthesis, correct? So therefore you will multiply each term inside the parentheses by 2r. You call that distributive property, and then after that you combine like terms. So when you multiply, you have to remember you add the exponents. Okay? The basis, the same basis, when you multiply, you add exponents. So I will multiply 2r times 6r, multiply the coefficients. 2 times 6 is, it's 12, and then r times r is r squared because the exponent here is 1. The exponent here is 1. It's an invisible 1. You add 1 plus 1 is 2. And then this is minus 2r times 4rh. So you only add the exponents of the same basis. So r and r, yes, it's okay, but the h, you have to copy that over because there's no there's no the same base in outside. So 2 times 4, that would be 8, and then r times r, that would be r squared, and then copy over h. So that's how you multiply that. The variables with no the same base, with no the same variable, you copy over. And then plus 2r times 9rh squared. So 2 times 9 is 18. R times r is r squared. Copy over h squared. So this is now the answer. Now combine like terms. Is there anything here that I can combine? 12r squared. There's no r squared here. So keep this. 8r squared h. Then 18r squared h squared. So this is not the same as this because the h here is not squared. So therefore, this is now simplified. That's your answer right there. Alright, number 2. Now, in number 2, this is 2 terms. The first term is r squared times 3r plus 4 plus, this is now your second term, 6r times r minus 2. So you have to distribute each term by the outside, whatever outside the parentheses. So you distribute, you multiply, add the exponents if they are the same. So r squared times everything inside this parentheses. So r squared times 3r. So there is a numerical coefficient right there. So 1 times 3 is 3. Then r cubed because you're going to add the exponent of r, which is 2 plus 1. Then plus 1r squared times 4. And that would be 4 because 1 times 4, and then copy over r squared because there is no numerical, there's no variable here. And this part is the result of expression number or term number 1. And the second term, you distribute also because there is a parenthesis. So plus 6r times r, that would give you 6r squared. Then minus 6r times 2, that would give you 12r. This part is the result of the distributive property right here on the second term. And then now combine like terms. At this time, you can now erase the parentheses because you already want to put them together. Since the parenthesis is, or the bracket is preceded by a positive in the front, then you can just erase the parentheses without changing the sign. It would be different if it's minus right here. So r cube, there's no other r cube, so copy that over. And then now, cube. Now next to cube is r squared. Well, I have 2r squared. I have to combine that. I will box this. I will box that. It's like 4r squared plus 6r squared is like 4 apples plus 6 apples, and that would be 10 apples, and then 10r squared therefore. Then minus 12r. There's no other r, so just copy this over. So this is now the result. Now next, number 3, this is monomial times a binomial. So I will multiply whatever inside the parentheses by each of them will be multiplied by negative 3xy cubed. So we have two variables, xy cubed for the monomial outside it. Then multiply negative 3 by 4, that would be negative 12. And then copy over xy cubed because there's no variable here. And then next, now this time you multiply, you have to make sure that this is, you observe the sign, negative 3 times negative 8, that would be positive, so therefore I put plus 24 because 3 times 8. And then this time there's a variable, so multiply xy cubed by xy, then add the exponents of the common of the same variable, so x and x, that would be x squared because there's a 1. Y cubed times y, add the exponent, then y to the 4th because there's a 1 right here. Then combine like terms, there's nothing you can combine because xy cubed is not similar to x squared y to the 4th. So this is now your answer. And the next, number 4, now we have x cubed y, which is a monomial, times a trinomial inside. So distribute x cubed y squared times 4x, that would be 4x to the 4th y squared. Because you see, you're multiplying x and x cubed, the copy over y squared, and of course 4 because there's a 1 right here. And the next, minus 1x cubed y squared times 6x squared y squared. First, that's the numerical coefficient, that would be 6. For the x, 2 here and 3 here, that would be 5. 2 here for the y, that would be 4 for your middle term. 2 plus 2, 4. 3 plus 2, 5. 1 times 6, negative 6, because you are going to add the exponent. Then plus 8 times x cubed y squared, and that would be 8x cubed y squared. There's nothing to add exponent because there's no variable next to 8. And then the last one, the monomial times monomial times monomial. This is just one term. So you're multiplying 3 monomial, you're gonna get a monomial. So first multiply the coefficient, 5 times 3 times 10. That's very straightforward. Well, 5 times 10 is 50. 50 times 3 is 150. And then get all the a's. A times A times A. So we have 3. 1 plus 1 plus 1. And then get all the b. B times B times B. So our answer is 150 A cubed B cubed. Okay guys, hopefully it will help you, okay?